Joule database software, making 10-channel brain maps with Brain Avatar. Joule is a desktop-mounted software that auto-generates reports and protocols. Let's get started by editing our first QEEG data file. The first thing we need to do is open up Brain Avatar and load in our client's data. Once we've done that, now we are ready to do the second step, which is to import the correct settings. We will pick Joule's database settings and load them into the client's folder. Next, we're going to change the theme. We're changing the theme to gray, not because we have to, because it's easier to see the data when you edit it that way. The third step is importing the client's EEG data. We'll go right back to the client folder and load it in. There's the client 10-channel recording, the same 10 channels you would get with a Freedom 10. And we're editing the file with our mouse. We're clicking on the mouse, holding it down, and moving it to the right, selecting good data. As you can see, this data are very good. And this is an extremely easy report to edit. And you'll find that many reports are fairly easy to edit. And if you need help, I'll be here to give you education in editing. I have videos that you can watch. Editing is a process that all professionals should learn. It'll allow you to see abnormalities in the EEG and bring you closer to professionalism. So we're moving right along and editing this client report. It's not taking that long. You're editing it yourself on your own PC. There's no need to send it out to an online service. You're doing it yourself. Next, we're going to move back and we're going to, using our mouse, we're going to bring up that same pop-up and we're going to analyze the file. We're going to select the correct selections that match with the software products that we've purchased. QEG data from QEG Pro, S Loretta, and Surface are all checked because that's what's purchased, along with the age, the Excel, everything we need. And as soon as we have that, we'll run the analysis. The analysis results are put right back into the client folder. That's where everything is, in the client folder. Brain maps, analysis, reports, as well as protocols are all put into the client folder, all organized for you in a simple and easy fashion. We opened up Joule, and now we're going to load in the analysis. It's right there in the client folder where everything is. We're going to find the client folder, and now we're going to open it up. And once it's open, we'll see an analysis file. It'll say eyes closed analysis. We'll click on it, and then we'll open it. It'll be loaded right into Joule. And we're going to choose eyes closed. This is an adult. And then we're going to put in the client's name. We already have the name of the clinic. The client's name, in this particular case, we're going to call the client Freedom 10D because that's what will be on our report. It's exactly what the client will see, their own name. Now we're processing the data in Joule, and the first thing that we're going to see is Joule's database. We'll look at the database report that Joule has output. Joule has been carefully compared to other FDA 510(k) databases, and it compares very favorably. Notice there's the 9 different bandwidths that the Joule is processed in, and on the right-hand side is the symptom checklist. We're going to choose 2 symptoms that relate to memory, and notice they're going to highlight the appropriate heads, which will help us to understand what needs to be trained the most. After we've done that, we can use the slider, and the slider can isolate the hottest spots. Notice right there, from all the sites to 6 sites to 4 to 2 to 1, Joule will help you find the hottest sites that need to be trained. And there's more. There's not just brain maps like this, but we have the posterior dominant rhythm of the client. In addition to the PDR on the left, on the right, we have the flow of Z-scores. And you can see that 7 Hertz has the highest Z-score. Very easy to see on this graph. And now we're looking at co-modulation, and notice T3 and T4 are the spots of greatest interest. And notice there are boxes with words in it. And those boxes with words on it make it very clear what the client's likely symptoms are. Not only are you seeing this, but the client will see it later when you print out their report. It's right there for the client to read and to understand how their EEG reflects their most salient symptoms. In addition, we can also go to our Loretta report. And if we go to S Loretta, notice how everything is red. We'd really like to isolate it. So we can move our jewel finder right there, the arrows, and we'll isolate the hottest spots, the spots that need to be trained the most. The same symptoms are checked. Now that we've looked at Jules' S Loretta report maps, there's more. Now we're going to go to QEEG Pro. If you remember, this QEEG Pro map with 9 bandwidth ranges is very similar to Jules. The same 2 symptoms are chosen, and we can look and see what QEEG Pro says. We can compare the two in surface, in coherence, as well as in S Loretta. We have that option as well. Now, here's a review of the report, and this can be edited, manually edited. You can add statements or take them away. It's just like a word processor, but the report is already written out. If you don't want to write anything, you don't have to. And notice the client can see their own report like this, but just in a moment, we're going to load this report right into the client folder in a PDF form for the client to see. You can email it to them or print it out for them to see as well. There are those nice little comments in the box along with the symptoms. There are the client's symptoms again. And notice it writes out what their symptoms are, the likely places in the brain that caused it, as well as homework for them to do. It's all written out for you. There's nothing to do unless you want to edit it. Now we're going to save the report, and of course, it's going to go directly into the client folder, right where everything is. And notice there's the report. It's a PDF file. It was in the client's folder. Everything is there that we saw, and we can simply email it or print it out as we decide to do. But now, if we want to create protocols, Joule will let us do that as well. Joule has that option. If you're interested in Joule database software, subscriptions are $6.95 a year for this desktop-mounted software. Begin creating brain maps as soon as you get this software, and I will provide you with personal help if you so desire to get you started. Joule database software.